Yes, this requires the bug eyes.
My father must have known that Lan Li was coming.
If he knew he was coming, why didn't he tell you not to come?
Hmm.
Because surely had you not been there to be choked out, his dad would have just died and they wouldn't have found the mirror.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one.
Anyway, yeah. So, what's this game? This game is it's now considered like unbelievable and brilliant, and everybody loves it. It's a monstrous cult classic.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this is the cult classic, is what I see.
But at the time, like, it did not sell well. It was not received very well. Like, it sold like so poorly that like they pretty much, because it was meant to be like 4 to 7 games in the series.
Really?
Initially planned.
Holy shit!
But they only did 2, and because of the poor sales, they just killed it off.
Wow.
Like, they had to do. I think the makers had to do like the Shenmue. There was a Shenmue Online. Like there was a Morpega based on it.
Wow. Okay.
And they only did that really just to keep the IP alive.
Yeah. Because like I said, this was I suppose like in a sense, like Sega, like even looking at the pitch would have been like, oh yeah, this is what we can put on the Dreamcast and kind of build around. But then again, I don't know whether like it was so intrinsic with the Dreamcast and having to compete with the PlayStation and stuff like that, and it just was one weighing down the other. I wonder, or was it just, as I said, like this is such a hard sell in 1999 when things were still very actionally based. You know, I don't know.
Well, it's, obviously, like, but what?
Have you ever been stared out of it while eating your rice? Realistic carrot noises. He judges so much, doesn't he? It's like, you're eating that wrong. You're holding that wrong.
What? Tell me we heard something for that. It's a fucking cutscene.
I think it's a secret. It's one. It's a.
Oh, you have to look at them.
You have to look at the things. Yeah, it's all backstory stuff.
Yeah, no, but no, because this is quite actiony. Like, obviously, the first part of this is just going to be us walking around, looking at stuff, asking people if they've seen a black car and shit.
Yeah.
But like, there is quite a bit of action. Like, Shenmue popularized quick time events.
It did, absolutely.
So it's the title for quick time events. Everybody thinks it comes back to this now. I don't think they were the first to ever do it, but they definitely popularized it.
I feel like House of the Dead got there first.
Maybe.
Yeah. But then again, that was also a Sega franchise, and maybe from the same designers, same company.
Have to look that up.
I will consult the article, but yeah, like it would have been in the same realm anyway. Because then, if I'm not mistaken, that this is based off the Virtua Fighter engine as well, or it's taken some of the.
That's why they all look like Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
The phone, calendar, phone. Ah, yeah.
I'm just checking here. There, Deep Silver was the remake, I think it was. It's the publishers. It is.
But this was quite actiony. This is basically a tale of kung fu revenge. Like, it's fucking action out the fucking ass.
Okay, let's see what we have.
It's just as deep immersive bits.
Yeah.
We can, that kind of suck up a whole lot of time. But
yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So this studio was the arcade arcade game makers. So they had the likes of Outrun, Space Harrier, Sword of Vermilion. And what else we got? Then we went to the likes of Virtua Fighter and Daytona, and then we are into Shenmue. Then after that, yeah.
Oh, that man. The man called Lan Li. What did he talk with my father about?
That guy. Yeah, the guy who killed the guy who runs this place. You don't remember him?
They threw me out of the dojo. The black suits.
They're so well camouflaged, That's the thing with black suits; they just don't just blend in with the wooden scenery here,
What you gonna do? Ryo-san, where are you going? You're not going after them. Please don't. Look what they did to Hazuki-sensei. They killed my father right in front of me.
Just close it into widescreen there for a second, just to get the effect.
I will have my revenge.
Ha!
I need to do this for my father.
This is literally the Bruce Lee origin story. In every Bruce Lee movie, this is what happens. And you know what? I'm here for it. It is a cliche, absolutely, but I'm still fucking here for it. But much of your point about like the kind of the actual level of detail that's been put into a game from 1999, it's a small thing, and a lot of like game studios wouldn't be bothered doing it. But even the fact that like when he's in a temple or he's indoors, like that's a different character model, you know, and that's a lot of like detail when like again a lot of places wouldn't bother, you know. But as I said, to get that immersion to like drive home the point that you're in very traditional like part of Japan.
Yeah, you're not meant to be playing like Ryo. You're meant to be Ryo.
Yeah,
you know, like you're meant to be him.
Exactly. Yeah, which is what makes it that good as well. Is that like it is totally immersive. Now the camera is an interesting concept, I have to say.
It's also another combatant.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's like I get what they're trying. I know it's like not to say it's one of the first games to have a camera like this. I mean, like, but the problem is that when you turn a camera like that, it just flips controls on you sometimes, and it's very annoying. I don't know if there was an issue in the original game or just something that the remaster has picked up for the crack. Obviously, he's a Dortmund fan going by the colours, you know. Yeah. Or Watford. Is Watford big in Japan? I doubt it. I would imagine that their Watford's ludicrous sacking policy would go down quite poorly in Japan, you know? Culture to salarymen.
Standing there chatting and gossiping all day? Yeah, maybe they know and are chatting about it now. I'll ask them. Thanks.
What we really need is like an Irish version of Shenmue where it's just set in the back end of Kerry. Maybe that's what Fatal Deviation was meant to be, you know?
No, Broken Sword already did that. It's done, man.
That's true. It can't get any better than that. We can't replicate the West of Ireland better than that level.
No.
Did you see any men wearing black suits that day?
But just think about it, like, you can have someone going around town going, Jesus, did you see the man with the black tractor there? I did, yeah. I did, yeah. You killed your father. Have it in like a kind of like a border. Have it somewhere like Monaghan where like you know had to go up and down the border. It was like I remember your dad. He was a Republican. I wonder does Shenmue come in with like a kind of like what happens like ultimately in every Elder Scrolls game we end up just killing all the NPCs. So when we get too powerful, we just keep roundhouse kicking everyone we see.
Unfortunately, no, because this ultimately is a game about a good guy. And that's he's a good guy.
What is it with these protagonists and their fucking moral code? The moral code of these protagonists. This is also our kind of a first example of that as well. It's like, how do we drive home the fact that this is a nice guy? Let's have him protect a little kitty.
Absolutely.
Yes. Roundhouse kick to Kitten. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this is meant to be set in the late 80s?
Don't know where that's meant to be set.
Or in the early 90s or something?
I think it's set in around the time that it was based, I think.
Okay. I suppose like with the scenery and how like traditional Japan this is, like it's very hard to tell. It could take place in any time, really. Yes, folks. It was a plot relevant kitten. The best kind of kittens.
A plot relevant kitten murder.
Do you take advantage of every dead cat you see?
I try.
Because every cat like that loses its mother, it's just like, and now she has like 15 of them by the time she's a teenager. They're all taking turns until there's a messy divorce and we have to take someone has to have visitorship rights of the kitten.
Just cut it up
into 4. You get the tail. I'm not getting the tail. That includes the butthole. And now our first moral decision: do we feed the kitten or do we poison the kitten? The tough choice, Neil. You know. We're now using our expertise on cats to know, yes, they do like fish. It's eating the box, apparently.
She's so tiny, but already an orphan.
Like me.
Aw.
I emotionally relate to this cat in the box. It's actually quite humiliating having to stay home because of a sore arse, isn't it?
Yeah, it's close.
The hoop is killing me. Oh no.
What's the Japanese for that? Google, what is the Japanese for?
No, don't ask Google. You do not need this.
You don't need that on your algorithm.
Oh, well, when I think of a good one, I'll let you know.
The worst thing about making like these kind of like what's this in Japanese jokes in a room with someone who has studied Japanese. There you go.
It's also worth kind of like pointing out as well that like all the NPCs have their own detailed backstories and you know histories. Like every single NPC, even the ones who spout generic lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, they all have their own detailed backstory and names.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't come across in the game, they all have it. So
Yeah.
there was actually quite a level of detail, even if a lot of it doesn't come across in the game.
Well, that's the same as anything else. Like, as you said, like it's living that immersion. If you're living in a real town, it has real people in it. You know. So what was the Japanese for hoop, Babs?
Not for who. To go or not to go.
Ah,
The verb is iku.
iku. Okay.
So ikumasen is or there's not. Ikumasen.
Ikumasen. Okay.
Is I won't go.
Okay.
But they don't have any tenses in Japanese.
Yeah.
There's no past or future tenses. You literally say, I go shop today, I go shop tomorrow. That's why when they try to learn English, they have such a bad time with the verbs
Ah, okay.
changing. So it's also like it's once you learn the alphabets
Yeah.
in Japanese, you're laughing.
Okay.
It's all phonetic
Kondo-san,
and there's very little grammar.
Right. Okay.
Like the negative of a verb is masen.
So just flip it essentially. Yeah.
Every sentence usually ends with this. If you want to change it into a question, this can.
Okay. Interesting. There you go.
That's from when I did my leaving search.
Yeah.
A lot longer ago than I would want to admit on the internet.
Well, during this playthrough, Shenmue, we will pepper in lessons in Japanese over the playthrough ones.
excuse me. Terribly sorry.
You're welcome.
I'm really too tired lately.
Oh, of course, this is the guy who's been working so hard lately. You can tell from his squared off nose and his. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't speak to you. I'm too boring. What about the moped? Does the moped have any character developments? Is that an important
I
part?
reckon so. I would be surprised if it didn't.
What about the letterbox? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to go now.
Ow.
I'm sorry, I hate you.
Sumiya-san.
Hi,
Oh, that she just stays there as well.
She's not leaving at all.
It's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to speak to you.
in black suits? No, I didn't. But I did see a...
She's not letting that one off there. Did you see that? I was like,
Yeah.
oof.
Yes, it was run over by a car. A kitten was crying nearby. I also saw little...
What did she deliver that like she was a newsreader? A kitten was crying nearby as the bombs hit the palace.
Was there anything else unusual about that day?
And that's another cat dead from guns.
Son took a terrible spill at the corner by the park. He was trying to dodge a speeding car. Looked as if he hurt his head.
Well, what did he say?
It was the same
He
car.
broke his hoop, I believe he said. Such a strange man, David Gooby-san. Okay, right then. We're starting to learn now. We're starting to piece this all together now. All we need to now is figure out where the fuck these people live. But as you said, like it is working on something that you kind of already know because you live in this town. But again, I choose to believe that under the guise of having a massive concussion, you've forgotten everything, so you have to start all over again. Which I think is actually quite consistent.
Aww.
And now the plot.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What's this nameplate say?
It says Tajima.
Does it?
So we have our first side mission of the game now.
To find the Yamamoto's house, but see my eyesight is bad, so...
Don't worry. I'll look for it. Wait for me in that park up ahead.
Here.
You can see the park, can't you, you daft old bitch? Just go to a place where there's more green than anything else, alright?
It's and you know what the casting is? The house he's looking for is at the park. Which is even the funniest part of it. It's like you actually sent her in the right direction by accident. It's like Rio knows where they live already. It's just like, okay, maybe go to the park and you might you're swinging now. Okay, that's fine. All right then. That's great. But yeah, so when I played it, so before my technical mishap, I was trying to actually get like Rio to see the fucking thing. It's like, no, it's there, but no, I have to press the button to look.
Vegetable.
This is what happens when you don't read the manual. It's me being a complete silly. But now I know where everything is. Oh, look, I'm blocking the traffic. Silly me. I also had known that like I have to do this before 4 o'clock or shit. That one just disappears from existence.
Guess I'll go get that lady.
What about the taxi, Neil? Did the taxi have any backstory?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Plot relevant taxi?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. She's actually on the swing.
Ma'am, I found it.
Just sadly swinging because she can't read anything. That's actually quite sad. That's genuinely quite depressing.
Where somebody runs up behind her and absolutely belt her over the bars.
This is it.
Thank you for taking the time to help me, young man.
I have to go now.
There's
There we go. Another silver. We're racking up the fucking accomplishments here, lads.
Mm-hmm.
Drink. Oh, beautiful. Oh, your man who's too tired has been walking around town all day again. I wonder why. I would love it, like if for a game like this that's gonna have like if it had like a mystery villain, I would want him to be walking around town the entire time until you realise that that's the guy. He's just been floating around watching when you do your stuff.
Sunglasses too. On the day when it snowed, do you remember? No, I don't. I see.
You're fucking useless to me.
No, it's okay.
Go away and die.
Since you got that suit jacket, you've been just up your own arse.
Rio. What's up?
Pass, 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 pass.
Hop on. Bald is beautiful.
Picture?
What'd you draw?
A doll?
Oh,
No,
there we go.
the word. I've seen the other world.
This is HD remake isn't as fucking polished as we think.
No. Apparently this is quite common because for whatever reason they didn't fix the camera angles, but they've changed the topography or something. I was reading about it. And apparently this has been fully patched and it's still a bit iffy in places.